Senate Committee on Economic and Workforce Development has been called to order. We're going to go ahead and begin things in a subcommittee. First bill to be heard will be House Committee Substitute for House Bill 3308. Representative Wilson, please begin when you're ready.
Thank you, Chairman Brown and members of the committee. For the record, I am Travis Wilson, State Representative from District 106 in St. Charles, Missouri's first state capital. And I'm here to speak with you about House Bill 3308. And that is very simply a bill which creates a sales tax exemption for entities that are doing something for public good, so to speak. A good example of this would be if you have a home builder who is building a subdivision. Let's say that they've got, say, 50 acres, and they build out homes on 45 of those acres and decide that on the last 5 they're going to build a park. And so what this bill does is enable them to have a sales tax exemption on materials used to build such park, including the lumber for the pavilions, the roofing shingles, the concrete for the sidewalks, park benches, etc. All of the materials that would be utilized in that facility would be sales tax exempt. That's what this bill does. It's very simple. If you have any questions, I would be more than happy to take them now.
Thank you, Representative. Do we have any questions? Seeing none. Anyone that would like to testify in favor of the bill, please come forward.
One other thing, Mr. Chairman, I do apologize. We have a vote that is drawing quickly in the House, so I may be moving very quickly at some point.
Understand. Seeing none. Anyone in opposition of the bill?
I was going to say good evening. I don't even know what it is. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. My name is Arne C. A.C. Dienoff, State Public Advocate. Mr. Chairman, can you confirm I submitted my online testimony on the Senate portal? Did you receive it? It was done yesterday? Yes. Okay, cool. I opposed this tax exemption in HB 3308 in the House. I believe a month and a half ago when it came up there. I have to again oppose it over here in the Senate. In terms of sales taxes, I feel that there are fiscal concerns. This could be misused, or there could be potential fraud involved here. If there is a park or public improvements that are being done by a contractor or a private entity on behalf of a municipality, village, or in some cases unincorporated county of counties across our state, there's no way that you can convince me that that private entity is going to pass on those savings, or in the sales transaction take that off of the sales price to the municipality, to the village, or the county. I feel that this is a slippery slope. It's opening up an avenue of sales tax exemption for certain issues, certain improvements, and I feel that it's just another way of making overnight profits under the auspice of good government. Therefore, I cannot support House Bill 3308. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you for your testimony. Do we have any questions? Seeing none. Anyone else in opposition? Anyone for informational purposes only? Representative, do you have any closing remarks?
Just to say thank you to the committee for the time. I appreciate the opportunity.
Next up, we will be hearing House Committee Substitute for House Bill 1883. Representative Van Schoiack, whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Appreciate you hearing House Bill 1883. I'm Dean Van Schoiack, State Representative for District 9, representing the counties of Andrew, DeKalb, and Northern Clinton in Missouri's Great Northwest. House Bill 1883 has two parts to it. On page 5 is the exemption for durable medical goods. It takes out the part that defined on January 1st, 1980. We have durable medical goods that were invented since then that should be included in,
Representative,
yes, yes, it was.
all right, just making sure.
Just need a bit closer? I'll get closer for you. Thank you. So, we're taking out the 1980 part. Those durable medical goods include mesothelioma device Optune Loa, brain cancer device Optune Geo, and brain aneurysm peripheral coil system. Those are the exemptions that that part of the bill has. That's on page 5, on line 137, taking out the words on January 1st, 1980. And it has some as amended and accessories down there as well included in the law on that part of it. Then the auction part is to the end of the bill on pages 12 and 13. The reason we're having to do this part of this bill is that the Department of Revenue has taken upon themselves to tax what they call consignment auctions. Other auctions are not taxed. When I'm an auctioneer. When we have an auction for an individual selling their estate, selling out a farm property or whatever, there's no sales tax collected. But in around 2000 or so, the Department of Revenue got the idea that they should collect tax on garage sales and consignment auctions. The garage sales got thrown out in court, but apparently consignment auctions did not. Our law on auctions, 400.2-328, which is the Uniform Commercial Code in federal law, says in a sale by auction, if goods are put up in lots, each lot is a subject of a separate sale. Every lot in every auction is its own auction. There are no consignment auctions. Every lot in every auction is an auction in and of itself by itself. Therefore, the Department of Revenue has put auctioneers in a conundrum of trying to figure out whether they need to collect sales tax or not, and this will make it clear that they do not need to collect sales tax on their auctions. That's the purpose of this bill, is to clear it up for auctioneers and make it simple for everyone and not put anybody in jeopardy with DOR. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Representative. Do we have any questions? Senator Washington?
Hi, thanks for coming over.
Thank you,
I
Senator.
just have a couple of questions to kind of clarify for my own self. On page 12, section 47, subsection 47, where you say for valuable consideration directly from a seller at an auction, who's the seller? Are we talking about whoever donated it? Are we talking about the organization?
Normally, it's a person who puts their items up for auction. The auctioneer sells for another person for a fee. That's it. So I've got the initial auctioneer right here.
Well, I don't want to know auctioneer. I want to
Okay.
know seller because the word says seller.
The seller is the person who has put their items up for auction. They hired an auctioneer to sell their items for them.
And where's the definition for that?
This is from statute 343.010. Auctioneer is used in section 150.380 and sections 343.010, 343.070, and 343.0105 is one who sells goods, merchandise, or property of any kind at public or private auction for another person and who receives a commission or compensation of any kind for conducting such sale, but not including one who conducts such sale by or under the jurisdiction of any court or pursuant to a judicial judgment or order.
Right. In the interest of time, Representative, thank you for reading that. But where is that referred to here in this bill?
An auctioneer?
Yeah, in this bill, you just cited a statute. So when you're adding some new language here to exempt from sale, so you don't have the reference to that in your bill? Is there, or at least I haven't found it. Could you show me where you're referencing that we're talking about the auctioneer as a seller as opposed to a regular seller? You see, your dark part, it doesn't reference any, in any statute as to who we define as the seller.
Seller at an auction. The seller at the auction would be the auctioneer. The auctioneer selling the
I
auction.
don't have a problem with that being the case, sir, but we got to put it somewhere so that we know, because this statute that we're working with is not the auctioneer statute. The statute that we're working with here
Is a sales tax.
is a sales tax
and use
statute.
tax statute,
And
right.
so I'm asking, where are you referencing that you want this for the auctioneer as opposed to anybody selling something and auctioning it off?
When anybody can sell something and auction it off, they certainly can do that. An auctioneer, however,
So where do we define who that seller is?
I thought it was common knowledge that an auctioneer
We
is
don't
a seller
have
at the
common knowledge
auction.
in the statute, sir, unfortunately. And I'm not being cruel, mean, or anything. I learned that about day 6 in law school, that we don't have anything called common knowledge, because that's how you have these lawsuits. People always have their own interpretation. So maybe we could work
I
together
would
to
not be
figure out
opposed to
how
doing
to
that. Absolutely.
clarify what you're asking.
I'd be happy to do that. You're the first person that's ever brought this up.
I
And
kind
several
of
years
think
of carrying
outside the
this
box.
bill.
I was real good in law school.
Yeah, I'm
Some
sure you
people say
were.
I'm a good lawyer. I just don't like to practice the law.
I'd be happy to work with you, Senator, to get that amended to get the reference in there you need.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any further questions? Seeing none, before we move on to witnesses, and Representative, I understand if
Senator.
there's some things moving in the House, so if you have to leave at any point, that's
I appreciate that. I intend
okay.
to stand for the whole hearing. Thank you. I appreciate the concern,
Okay.
courtesy, though. Thank you.
We're going to go ahead and establish a quorum. First of all, so Secretary, please call the roll.
Right. Senators Brown,
Here.
Gregory 21, Gregory 15, Lewis is here, Schnelting, Trent, Washington. We have a full quorum today.
I now make a motion to move into executive session. Do I have a second? We are in executive session. I make a motion that the committee take up House Committee substitute for House Bill 2508. Do I have a second? This is Representative Chris Brown's bill we heard last week, which modifies provisions relating to serious limited liability companies. There is a Senate committee substitute that has been distributed, which mirrors the perfected language in Senator Hudson's consent bill, Senate Bill 1142, that passed earlier this session. There is also a provision added that allows St. Louis County to the counties that can collect information, or they can, where you can file contact information with the city or county's clerk, listing the name and street address, and at least one person who has management, control, and responsibility for the property. I move that the committee adopt the Senate substitute for House Committee substitute for House Bill 2508. Do I have a second? I have a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of adopting the sub, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, we have adopted the Senate Committee substitute for House Committee substitute for House Bill 2508. And I move that the committee vote Senate Committee substitute for House Committee substitute for House Bill 2508 do pass. Do I have a second? I have a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Secretary, please call the roll.
Senators Brown,
Aye.
Gregory 21, Gregory 15. Senator Lewis left her vote with the chairs voting aye. Senator Schnelting. Senator Trent. Senator Washington. By your vote of 7-0, you have voted to do pass Senate Committee substitute for House Committee substitute for House Bill 2508.
I now move that House Committee substitute for House Bill 2819 be brought before the committee. Do I have a second? I have a second. This is Representative Shields' bill we heard last week. House Committee substitute for House Bill 2019 is the penny bill that we heard last week. I move that the committee vote do pass House Committee Substitute for House Bill 2819. Do I have a second? Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Secretary, please call the roll.
Senators Brown,
Aye.
Gregory 21, Gregory 15, Lewis, Senator Lewis left her vote with the chairs, voting yes. Schnelting, Trent, Washington. By your vote of 7-0, you have voted to pass House Committee Substitute for House Bill 2819.
I now move that the committee take up Senate Bill 1443. Do I have a second? This is Senator Berger's bill we heard last week to authorize a tax credit for certain capital investments. Move that the committee vote do pass Senate Bill 1443. Do I have a second? Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Secretary, please call the roll.
Senators Brown,
Aye.
Gregory 21, Gregory 15. Senator Lewis left her vote with the chairs, voting aye. Senator Schnelting, Trent, Washington. By your vote of 7-0, you have voted to do pass Senate Bill 1443.
I now make a motion we exit executive session. Do I have a second? We'll now resume the hearing for House Committee Substitute for House Bill 1883. First up that would like to testify in favor of this bill, please come forward.
I don't know what it is about this particular chair. I think it's trapped me a couple times. Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, Ray McCarty, President of Associated Industries in Missouri, and here in particular in support of the durable medical equipment exemption on page 5 that was discussed. This is very similar, in fact identical to Senate Bill 1402, which this committee already heard, Senator Coleman's bill. And what we're trying to do is resolve an issue the Department of Revenue seems to have with reading the language and going back to 1980 and seeing what really was exempt in 1980. But in 1980, durable medical equipment actually did describe, the definition of durable medical equipment did describe devices that are used permanently or used more than once and only capable of addressing disease. So the devices that we're talking about, these brain cancer devices and other cancer devices, should qualify the way the law is written now. But the Department of Revenue is having an issue with that. We have an appeal pending right now that's before the Administrative Hearing Commission. So to provide good guidance from the legislature, we'd like to see that date, that January 1, 1980 date removed, and then adding the words as amended. I'm happy to answer whatever questions you may have.
Thank you. Do you have any questions? Seeing none.
May I ask, Frank, did you get my testimony sheet online?
We'll double check if not.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anyone else that'd like to testify in favor, please come forward.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. My name is Arnie C. A.C. Dienoff, State Public Advocate. I submitted my online testimony in support of HB 1883. I supported the same bill in the House a few months ago. This has been a pet peeve of mine for a number of years. I believe that the state law and the legislation needs to be to the point to tell auctioneers and people who are claiming or getting the sales tax. Some are collecting the sales tax, some are not collecting the sales tax. And the ones that are collecting the sales tax, I have some questions if they're actually delivering that collection to the Department of Revenue or keeping it as part of their business model. Auctioned off of secondhand goods or estates should not be subject to any additional taxes, and especially not sales taxes. I could not agree with more with this section. I think that once the sales tax was originally paid for, that it should never be paid again. Now, when it comes to the medical equipment, that's another pet peeve of mine. I feel that we need 100% sales tax exemption and zero taxes on any medical equipment, any medical implements, any medical limbs, or any medical devices. Accessories also should be 100% exempt. Hearing aids and eyeglasses should also be exempt. Right now, I can tell you this pair of eyeglasses that I need, it's a necessity. Some people, it might be a fashion statement, but I need these eyeglasses to be productive and to read and to see. And some people need them to drive. And as a matter of fact, there's a denote on their driver's license that if they get pulled over and don't have the appropriate contacts or eyeglasses, that they will receive a ticket. Now, I was charged $22 on this $200 pair of glasses. And I think that that is insane that the state of Missouri is charging a sales tax on something that is needed to have to live as a Missourian. I believe hearing aids, if I'm not mistaken, it's my understanding that there's a sales tax that's charged on hearing aids. I would like this bill to be amended to make all medical devices and all medical implements that are necessities exempt from any sales taxes. That's the right thing to do. The Department of Revenue shouldn't be nickel and diming our 6.2 Missourians. That's the crux of the bill. The bill makes a lot of sense, and I could not agree more with this bill sponsor, and I highly support HCS HB1883. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you for your testimony. Do we have any questions? Seeing none. Anyone else in support of the bill? Anyone that would like to testify in opposition? Anyone for informational purposes only? Seeing none. Representative, do you have any closing remarks?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for hearing the bill. I appreciate the hearing. Senator Washington, I'll be very happy to work with you on amending that language to get it. I've already made a note in here to do that, and we'll get with you and get that worked out. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Representative. This concludes the hearing for House Committee Substitute for House Bill 1883 with no further business coming before the committee. I now make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second? We are adjourned.
Do you think you can, seriously, those glasses you have on you, you pay tax. Did you know that? Do you agree with me?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about your, do you need them to